Okay, so our first question that came from Oblivioner is, what is EVM? We keep
Oh,
talking about EVM.
yes.
What does that mean?
That's a good question. EVM stands for actually I'll let you answer this question, Allison.
Okay, let's hope I don't fuck it up. EVM
Always.
stands for Ethereum Virtual Machine, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Second guessing
So
myself here.
so most of these smart contracts are written on in Solidity. We can kind of, you know what? Let's go look at it right now. I can look at, for example, if I go to the
Fellas.
Sausage Party Club. This is if you go to the website Sausage Party Club, you can see at the bottom I have a contract
Behind
address
myself.
right here.
Ha, bye.
And if I were to click on this thing right here, I can see, oh look, last time somebody did something was 142 days ago.
You can tell Sausage Party Club is doing real well. This is a very
Yes.
popular
Yes.
NFT project.
So Etherscan is a way to kind of to
Okay,
it's an
hold
explorer.
hold on.
Who built Explorer? I think Oblivioner built Block Explorer. Etherscan
I
is a
think
blockchain.
you may have gone a little too
too far,
deep too fast.
too deep, too fast.
That's what she said. What is EVM? EVM is Ethereum Virtual Machine.
Yes.
That is pretty much the way that the Ethereum blockchain runs the programs that are in the smart contracts that you create. And so there are a lot of blockchains that are EVM compatible, which means they can all use programs written in the same code. They'll process them the same way. And so it makes it a lot easier for, first of all, the people who are like creating these blockchains don't have to think of all of this themselves. But also, if you are an Ethereum developer, you can also use that on a bunch of other blockchains
That supports it.
that support it, that are EVM compatible.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, that was the like basic.
Thank
Now
you,
you can
Allison.
go back.
See, this is
Can
why
you-
you're here, Allison.
Can you give us some examples of popular EVM compatible blockchains that people might have heard of?
For well, right now, Polygon. Polygon is a side chain, not layer 2. It's a side chain. It's a commit chain. It commits to the.
People are
God,
going to have so many questions.
I see. This is why you're here, Allison. When people ask me a question,
I'm here to manage.
I give them my whole doctorate thesis on what's going on, and you're like, no, it's actually just.
Hold on,
this.
let's chill out.
It's
Let's
actually
chill
just, so popular ones are Polygon, Avalanche is a popular one. There's a lot of EVM. I think right now EVM is kind of like EVM and Solidity is kind of like React and JavaScript in the web world, where if you want a blockchain that to do well, to become popular, you're most likely want to support EVM compatibility, and so most of them, even though
And just to clarify, because I know things sound similar, so you might think they're the same thing. Solidity is the language
Yes.
that EVM compatible smart contracts are written in.
Yes.
Solana is a completely different blockchain that is not EVM compatible, so that works completely different. So they are
Yes.
not the same thing. You may think it's the same. They also use the same extension on the files.
They don't use the same
Don't?
extension.
I thought they were both .sol.
Dot Sol is I have Sun.sol because it's like the it's like a ENS.
No,
It's just
no. I understand that. I thought when you're writing their files, they use the same file extension.
I don't think so.
No?
They use
Okay.
.rs because it's Rust. It's written in Rust.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Don't mind me.
Yeah. But it can get confusing. The Sol is the coin of Solana,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think sometimes people get confused by it. But .sol for EVM is Solidity.
As you see on
Hello,
his
Spike.
screen,
Yes.
all those .sol files.
Yeah. So in the NFT world, most of the NFT lives on blockchains that are EVM compatible, and there's a lot of blockchains that supports EVM. Solana, like Allison alluded to, is one of the bigger player in the NFT world that is not EVM compatible. And there's work in the work.
There's work in the work.
There's work in the work that to make it support, to allow that support to happen for EVM. But I think I don't know. I think I'm of the school.
are you saying that people want to make
Mhm.
EVM and Solana compatible? Is that what you're trying to say?
People want, yes,
Okay,
people want to be able to write Solidity
for Solana projects.
and compile that into like a bytecode that will work in the EVM way for Solana. So
Interesting.
so
I
it
didn't know
so the reason people want to do that is because there's a lot of code and there's the EVM ecosystem. The reason why EVM is what I would say like Ethereum and EVM stuff is the ecosystem has been maybe 3 to 4, maybe 5 years now. Wait, no, it's like no,
We're in
it's
22.
we're on 22. We're in 22 now. So
Which
maybe like
from
7 years,
17
probably more than
would be
that.
5 years.
Five,
Yeah, so
6
longer
years,
than
something
that.
like that. But the ecosystem has been there for quite a long time, and there's a lot of support and there's a lot of tools being written for it, in the past 5 plus years. So there's a lot of program or smart contract that's written in the EVM manner to support or for EVM compatible blockchain. So the reason why people want to add that support for Solana is that it makes it easier for developers who has dApps, which is decentralized app, written in for EVM to be able to just copy and paste that code onto Solana. Because right now, when you want to do stuff in Solana, you actually have to kind of rewrite everything.
You pretty
And
much have to listen to your husband grumble for weeks on end
yeah,
about how Solana works.
yes. And Solana is the way that they do things is completely different. I think of it as EVM stuff is kind of like you working with SQL database, MySQL, whatever.
But Rust is cool.
And Rust is cool, but it's different. And
I don't think it's a problem with Rust. It's not a
problem
Rust
with
thing
Rust.
that makes him complain about
It's
Solana.
just a problem. It's just a problem of newness. Like you have to.
Solana
You're used to
is-
one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's not just that you're used to one thing. It's that Solana is not as well documented
That
at
too.
this point. There
And
aren't
it's
as
still
many
new.
tutorials. It's very, very new. So people haven't been creating as much educational stuff about it.
yeah,
And it's not as well documented and all of that. So actually figuring out how it works, how to do a Solana smart contract and how the blockchain works and everything
yeah,
is a bit more of a mess right now, whereas EVM stuff is very, very well established. So many people work on it. There's so much information out there about it. It's
yeah,
like it's still new and still has a ways to go, I think, in terms of making it accessible to a lot of people.
mm-hmm.
However, it's a lot easier to learn about.
yeah, yeah. And Solana also like I said, I don't think I ever finished my thought.
Sorry.
Is that EVM is kind of like working with SQL database, and Solana is kind of like is a different paradigm. It's like having a different data structure, as if you're working with like MongoDB, right? So one thing, if you're building a database,
That is a highly specific example.
I know. But I mean, for people who I think in tech who work with SQL database, relational database, and setting up tables and normalizing tables, and then
like
now you
relational
tell,
databases.
now you tell them, hey, go make the same database in MongoDB. It's gonna be like, wait, do you not normalize anymore in MongoDB? Like you don't normalize because it's built differently. It's optimized for different cases. So I think that's at least that's my technical sort of perspective on the difference between EVM and Solana. It got real. I answer I answer a question with more convoluted. With a convoluted
We're working on this
answer.
explaining thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think that explained well enough what EVM is?
I hope so.
I feel like we did an okay job.
I think
Okay
we
job.
overdid.